Now, to convince yourself, fake it till you make it is always a derogatory term used to, sacrifice your own pride, uh, cold-hearted liberties, and your own, and we would say your own integrity whenever something's used from your own intellectual property, and that was used for Michael Oher. Michael Oher, former pro football offensive lineman that had his own, I'm going to use quotation, real life story of his life being an orphan that was mentally disabled, that was held on learning both the books and the pro level and in football to get ahead of the wrong way of life while being orphaned by a white family. Itself was a good feel good story, bringing a kid from the bottom to the top, just like that. The thing is, it wasn't like that over the Blind Side film. Michael Oher is a 37-year-old offensive lineman now that has confiscated conservatorship dissolved over in court for falsified characters and has been paid over royalties over the film for the past several years. And some people petition for handling this conservator affairs to be unnecessary when this guy's been blackballed of making his rightful money even though he was the main character of an in real life film, while the alleged the alleged fake family, the orphan family, adopted family of Michael Oher that were profiting over his name were given most of the riches also to his somewhat step siblings or their own children, when they were supposed to make around $14,000 each. Even though Michael Oher has been well educated, had his own home, and was well known on playing the offensive lineman position for years before even meeting the family. And knowing this was a part that took part around the same time period, because I don't think he was making money after 2004 when the film was made. He make it over to an NFL team and then have a 10-year career. Now 37 and is trying to get his bucks about this. It kind of tells you how much faking it till you make it. That I guess he was trying to handle the lie so he can handle finances for his family, and that's understandable. But completely, messed up over what the family would do to make sure he's out of the picture, possibly not responding to his calls or letters or emails, knowing that he got fucked over his own finances when the money made tens of millions of dollars around that time period. It just doesn't land up when it comes to $14,000 each that the family was making, equally shared, including Michael Oher. And they're saying that they weren't offered the money. My money as well was well documented. You look up how much I sold for my company for Tofi said. The conservatorship center petition filed on Monday for Towie said nothing to the movie had nothing to do with the movie. So they were practically putting Michael Oher under the bus, saying that he wasn't legitimately adopted. But they put him on conservatorship just so he doesn't get a piece over the money, and they don't have to respond to him for no legal action. So they've been really financially ducking this guy for damn near decades, over possibly millions that this guy could have looked out on for the near future. So That's pretty insane. And just look at just hear this, guys. While the Blindside went to make over $300 million in global box office, or alleged received nothing from the film, while Towie's made millions according to the petition. Additionally, in February of this year, Oher had discovered that legally he was not actually part of the Towie family. In the film, they portrayed Oher was adopted by the Towies after they begun sporadically staying with the family in the summer after his junior year of high school, according to the petition. And the Towies invited Oher to live with them in July. That was later presented to be presented with the conservatorship. That was signed, however, known Michael until February of 2023 were not adoption papers. They were so they were finessing this nigga like when he was 16 years old. That tells you something. And knowing that over the legal action that he wasn't even part of the family, and over the benefit of the movie, and they were just finessing him over millions of dollars without any legal shit he can make because around that time period. That tells you something. The Towies ain't shit. Or got screwed. You deserve to be. No, he doesn't. But tell me how you feel about the Michael Oher situation. I understand this has been pretty big over in the media for the past few weeks. Over, does he have the right now to possibly sue? Over the conservatorship having some leeway, or not legally being part of the family if all this was practically a falsehood to tell the story. Knowing how much he profited off this, and this is a do-over to his likeness. I'm saying this is pretty much manipulation, falsehood by the family's part, and just ducking the guy over his rightful payment over decades, where he could have been making extra millions if it wasn't for his NFL career going up. This is a difficult situation for the family and me. I want to ask everyone to please respect the privacy at this time. I will let the lawsuit speak for itself. I will offer no further comment. So I guess that's Oher's last response over the issue. So he is filing a lawsuit for the Towies' legal issues involving the conservatorship. A conservatorship passed on him earlier around his years and finessing him. And hopefully he gets his money. That's kind of messed up what happened. But, yeah, life is life. I don't know what's going to happen if the lawsuit doesn't pass and he doesn't get his way. But we'll see further on what happens. Shout out to Michael Oher, man. Shout out to that Blindside movie because that was valid. But knowing the darker truth what happened involving the family and the actual person that portrayed the protagonist, because oof. Tell me how you feel down below. That's it from Sidelines Production, and we'll be back with further content.